Said there was no such shock because for a long time this firm conviction was there. The appearance is at least impermanent and illusion. We had firm faith and a firm conviction. So, and as we progressed in the tapas also, with the visions coming and going, then it got transformed into mental projection and disappeared. And finally, we saw the physical appearance like a manifestation also, and then not doing anything and disappeared when we did not react. So, all this had given an insight and firm experience, like a practical workshop experience in the laboratory. So, when the final thing happened, it was natural just. There was no such shock because there was no such thinking that till then, not even once there was any thinking this world might be real or is real or it is appearing that's real, because the dream sequences and this world we always compared and it's very easy to understand. So like for example, when you are dreaming, as long as you are dreaming, it appears so solid and firm and perfect. You can never make out it is you are dreaming. But once you get up, so the dream is gone. And you cannot even show where the dream happened, whether it happened here or happened here. It was within your mind. The picture was there. So this type of churning was always there. And at least more than 15 years before that, before the actual tapas also, Yoga Vasistha was very helpful. Its stories, psychological stories about the time and space, all different incarnations, why it happens, the mind spinning. So all these were there. So it just came naturally, just one more step and practically so happening. Mind became totally quiet, and rather it was a little, sometimes it was hair rising when the actual truth gets revealed. It's like the hair rising effect of how beautiful, how wonderful. We didn't know and we never bothered about this. It is so simple, we had made it so complicated. Say, you are right. They never knew means they had read only in theory a little bit. Like since the times of Galileo and even in ancient sages of India, mathematicians, they all had visualized the earth revolving around the sun. Earth is a globe, it is not a flat land. So, all these things humans knew already. But yet, they would have simply got to read in a book, they had no experience and no firm conviction of continuous thinking. So, that's when they would have become a bit amazingly surprised when they got to see the practically the earth as a round globe glowing, they see from a distance. The same thing we get to see the moon also from here, but that doesn't sit for many people in the mind. So if we simply stand and see the moon, it's a globe that's going around the earth, coming, and earth also is moving, it's going around the earth and is moving. So these amazing things we can visualize now when we get to see that one after a long time. So that's very thrilling. Even today it is very thrilling. See? So that type of experience would have happened to the astronauts. That's what probably they are telling. Okay, a thrill definitely happens when you come face to face in that consciousness, the ultimate truth of the Atman. No shock, nothing. Because there was no such conviction that this is real, and suddenly it occurred that it is unreal. There was no such thing. It was not a sudden experience. They can think and have this conviction. This is unreal. That's how devotion helps to take it firmly without doubting. with firm faith. So that helps definitely. But however, at least you can see the impermanence also, which is clearly visible. Impermanence of the world. The day doesn't stops there, and the night also doesn't stops there like that. It keeps moving. Now it is daytime, a short while it will be dark. Like that it moves, changes, it is impermanent. So nothing stays permanently. And many things we get to see the changes. We humans and other creatures, all these things. So it's a practical, it's available. That also you can visualize and try to understand and think it is impermanent. The short time is there, I must meditate, I must know the truth. So it should not allow the time to simply pass by, should not postpone. So that type of convictions will come. Yeah, it's like a vague dream. The clear experience is there, but the appearance is there. As long as this body is there, because a little bit of consciousness is in touch with the brain. Thus, apart from the oxygen and the blood the brain receives, it is application of the mind also a little bit, serves as a fuel. But too much of fuel is not poured into the brain to consider it as a reality. So thus a big picture definitely appears. Everything, people moving, people talking, people doing, behaving, normally only it appears. But for all this, our conscious is only witness. Doesn't get affected, doesn't make a judgment, a firm judgment, this is it, this is type like this. These are all appearance. So that's what I have told before also. The universe or the world has appearance value, but does not have the existence value. Whereas the space has the existence value. It may not appear to be appearance, but it is there. So like that the Atman, the self also, infinite in form. It doesn't appear to be there, but it is there. Yeah, it will disappear. So when it appears and disappears, it cannot be real. The same thing I have tried to tell also. God is not a personality who is sitting somewhere in the space. That's not God. If the God was a personality, he could have come in front of masses and he would have told, I am God and you all have to worship me, I can only protect you, something like that he would have assured. But such a thing has not happened. Historically or in the legend, if anybody has claimed to have had a vision of the divinity or God, it was only an individual. When Swamiji saw the Jangama sage, he only saw. Other 11 friends who were there, they didn't get to see anything like that type of. So that means this happens through a technology. The same infinite form, which is space, assumes a form. Just like in the mind, your mind is infinite space. But at the moment you start thinking and creative, so the same mind assumes a form also. But that is not ordinary thing. When we are talking, it's an amazing. That is what is creation, creativity, create. Though we talk of the imagination technology, but this imagination technology is not an ordinary thing. It's an amazing quality of that supreme consciousness and supreme energy makes it so real. That is true what he saw was, but it doesn't happen that the Kali in that form as a human personality or something exists somewhere and comes in front of you, doesn't happen. It's simply all pervaded. We all understand, you all believe, have faith that the divine is all pervaded, not simply at one place. If it was existing in one place, it couldn't have had been a divine personality or divinity at all. Then it wouldn't have been all powerful. Has to be all pervaded. When it's all pervaded, One single body cannot be all pervaded. It cannot occupy two places at the same time. Scientifically also, in spirituality also, it is the same. But the same all pervadedness manifested in that form due to his Mahabhava. So that's what they all also said Bhairavi Brahmini, he is in Mahabhava. Though in his own mental resolutions, but that is of the highest quality. Because of his visualization, he saw it. Means finally, it was the same self which was guiding the self. Ramakrishna was the self, and his own self was guiding him, but in the form of another anchor. These things may not be able to digest quickly if I even tell also. When Babaji, somebody is sitting in front of you, this is not a separate entity. You as Nara is sitting there, and you as Baba sitting here, and you are guiding yourself. Means when you came out of the origin, the divinity, so you pressed a button in which way that you will go. You will find your way. Definitely. If necessary, in a duality. If it's a duality, so you will find it as a guru, as an anchor, as a divinity, something like that. Thus, you will return in such a way. Finally, when you realize neither you nor that was ever there and is ever there, the only one single self, that is the truth that exists. That's what everybody has tried to explain. Attributeless, beyond all comprehensions, Parabrahman. That's what in Vedas and Upanishads they have tried to explain all these things. So this we can, in a simple language, while in this world, we try to follow the worldly manners. That is the guru and this is the disciple. But in consciousness, all are same. The same way, it is one self. But when we enact the drama, so we don't claim that I have become divine or that is not. No such thing. Yogis will never claim that's why it is. Not necessary. So we behave in Bhakti Marga in a duality to inspire everybody. This is Hanuman. So you worship this one, you chant this one. Slowly I will guide, because so many students sitting, different students' mental level may be different. Combined, I am trying to talk both duality, non-duality, highest philosophy, this and that. As the question is coming, I am trying to talk. Whoever can understand, take it, take. Otherwise also, the teaching is available. Just now, do not worry. Do that much. If you cannot comprehend that Advaita, just put Vadamala for now. You will see it afterwards. One day you will realize what it is. Till then, you need that Hanuman. Hanuman is within you also. But there also you would need to visualize, to do that one, so that your mind can remain concentrated. That is the idea, is basic idea. Meditation also you do so that you bring back the mind into single pointedness. Till then, the mind will not be able to go introvert. It has come extrovert and is into duality. It will visualize all dualities. You have to make it to bring single pointed, then go introverted. So before making it go introverted, if you are unable to silently bring it together, at least try to stay on an anchor. Hanumanji, Babaji, Shiva Bala Yogi, Venkateshwara, Narasimha, something like that, whichever appeals to you. This is another important point. No single concept or phenomena will be appealing to all human beings in the same way. Different people, different things may appeal. That's why liberally in Sanatana Dharma, Hindu Dharma, it has been taught. Whether it is Shiva or Vishnu, it's no problem. You can call in any way that you like. God never minds, because God knows He is above all these things. But yet, if you want to call it Shiva, you call it. But if you have the magnanimity and maturity, don't condemn the other one who is calling it Vishnu or in any other name for that purpose. Simply leave that there. So that is the basic idea why this is also being done, this is also being done. So they are all the blind people trying to identify the elephant. One says elephant is like a pillar. Another says elephant is like a big fan. Another says elephant is like a rope. That's because they are blind. They have not yet opened up to the actual truth, not experienced it. They have read the theory and they try to frame up, and once they become a scholar, they start thinking they are experts and they keep arguing. The person who worships like Hanuman, they will criticize the Advaita people, some of the people, oh, this is totally nonsense. So when I do the pranam, I am doing the pranam to the Atman. But they put their guru's photo in their rooms. If the same thing you are doing, they will criticize. So that's how they keep making the mistakes. If the day they are able to realize the ultimate truth, there will never be a critic. That is also same, this is also same. Simply that has come like this and this has come like this. That is all. There is no difference. I told he wanted to come. So he told me that he wants to come and sit on the boulder. That's very conducive for him. So then I got the idol made. We went to Mysore, and the same Arun Yogiraj, he had become busy by then. So he was unable to do this. Then his brother offered, Babaji, please give me a chance. I will also do that one and I will get it done for you. I said, okay, you do it. You are destined to do that one. So you will also be blessed. So then he got it made very beautifully with all his devotion. Then got, and then we installed it there. First we installed in the open, then we made a platform so that everybody can stand. And we saw even scorching sun heat, the idol might get disturbed. Then we put the tin shed also. That's how Hanuman came to be there. Otherwise only a stone boulder was there finally. Hanuman comes in the story of Ramayana. He served Sri Rama. Acha. In Yoga Vasistha, it talks that Hanuman was also a great self-realized person. But Indians widely believe that he was incarnation of the wind god, and some people even believe that he is incarnation of Lord Shiva, who came to help Vishnu's incarnation, who came as Rama. But significantly, though he was self-realized, he remained in the Dasya Bhava as a servant to Rama. He never himself behaved like a guru or a master or any such thing. Was always. So he was blessed with enormous physical strength also. And in the story, after Sita was taken away, kidnapped by Ravana, so Rama Lakshmana were going in quest of Sita, looking for her. They didn't know where to look for her, in which way to go. So on the way they got guided to go to Kishkinda, near Kishkinda. One of the demons whom they had cut his hands, and he guides them. So you go in that direction, the Rishyamukha Parvata at that place. Here in Kishkinda, they were Vali and Sugriva too. That was a tribe, Vanara tribe. It's like the kingdom of apes, for precise understanding. So many of them were all physically enormously strong. So Vali, Sugriva were two brothers. Vali was the king, Sugriva was the younger brother. Once Vali went to fight a demon who took him inside a cave. For long time Vali did not return. Sugriva was waiting at the door of the cave, and blood comes out. When Sugriva gets terrified, he thinks that my brother might have been killed. He comes back to kingdom. Then all the ministers force him to take up the throne and become the king, because the kingdom cannot be without a king, it's necessary. But here, Vali did not die. He kills the demon finally. Then he comes out after some time. When he comes to Kishkinda, he learns that Sugriva has become the king, taking over the throne. Whereas Sugriva comes and surrenders, tells ki, brother, we are so happy you have come back. I didn't know you. Please take over your throne. But Vali doesn't accept that graciously. He is very much annoyed. He bashes Sugriva very much. He was more strong physically. So, out of fear, Sugriva climbs on the mountain of Rishyamukha, which was cursed by a sage that if Vali comes to that mountain, he will get killed. So Vali wouldn't go there, so that place was safe. Sugriva had 4 ministers, 4 confident lieutenants with him. One of them was Hanuman. Hanuman was born to Anjana Devi and Kesari. That's one then. So he was there. So from very early age he got self-realized, I think. So it used to, in the story it says, when his mother tells, and somebody who can recognize the earrings that is in you naturally, know that as your guru and your divine. Till the last moment you have to serve. So now here when they are there, Rama, Lakshmana come in search of Sita. As they are coming near the foothills of the Rishyamukha mountain, the Sugriva's lieutenants give him intelligence report. Some 2 people are coming, they are very bright and glowing faces. We don't know whether they are enemies, they are what it is. So they give. Then Hanuman, he is sent to find out what it is. In all those places, the poet writes that Hanuman, apart from physically strong, mentally was also very wise. Without properly verifying, he won't jump into any conclusions, who they are, who this is. So he comes disguised as a Brahmin priest. He comes closer to Hanuman, the Rama Lakshmana. First Lakshmana also tells that this must be some demonic forces who has come as a disguise. We must go and act. Then Rama was also equally very wise in approach. He said, Lakshmana, cool down. Don't lose your temper so abruptly. Look at the beautiful earrings. He is not an ordinary person. Then on listening this, Hanuman is very excited. Oh, I have found my guru. So beautifully he jumps, and so he regains his form of Hanuman. Then he takes both Rama Lakshmana to his king Sugriva. So then Sugriva, they talk. So if you help me to take the kingdom and defeat my brother, I will serve you. I will help you to find your wife Sita. So that's how they come into the picture in Ramayana story. So this Kishkinda is supposed to be at the northern part of the Karnataka state, in the South India only. That is what he said. So throughout Ramayana he served Hanuman. So then finally it was Hanuman who went to Lanka and found out that Sita is there and comes back and gives the information. It's all the long story. Then Hanuman, Rama Lakshmana goes to fight with Ravanasura with the army of the Vanaras, apes. Apes all help, big army of apes. They were all physically very strong. They go and then finally they defeat and come back. All the Vanaras, they become very great devotees. So Hanuman was very great devotee of Rama. So that's why in Ramayana, wherever people talk of Rama, they talk of Hanuman also. At least for our Hindus, our Indian culture people, Hanuman is a wonderful, dearest character. He was in total celibacy as a brahmacharya. So all the time in Samadhi, remembering Sri Rama's name. So that character is a very role model for us from childhood, that we have heard his stories. So many stories are there. It's a very long things to tell. This is the brief introduction for you, Hanuman. It's important, as a guru, what I would advise. Living in the West, in America, in a country, you have to work hardly. you need to be serious on that front. While you try to visualize and think this world is impermanent all the time to keep yourself revived to that policy, while working to earn a livelihood, just be serious. At that time, if you lose interest to do the things and go into a depression, this world is unreal, then it will be chaotic condition for you. So, while behaving in the world, behave as it demands. If it demands that I have to be here at 4:30 to make you all for sitting for meditation, I have to respect that 4:30, right? Serious on that 4:30. Like that you also remain. On and off you keep reminding, finally this world is an illusion. I don't have to worry too much about this world. So let me earn a little bit livelihood and try to make myself comfortable so that I can meditate properly without getting disturbed. Like that, find the balance mentally clear in both ways. That will be helpful. Too much if I talk, it could be confusing for you. When I talk you Naran, you me, this, that. So when you talk the you Pushpa, so your imagination might come only this body. That must not be, that is not the thing what I am trying to talk. You as the Atman, the infinite soul, that is really, which doesn't have an identification of Pushpa or a Baba. So for that I was explaining. Suppose you as a soul has fallen into the illusion, have become a personality. Now you are trying to meditate to regain the consciousness of your real self. That theory, when he asked that you are worshipping Hanuman, so I had to explain a little bit more. That is not the thing, this is the worldly manners is like that. That is the guru and this is the disciple. But we behave, though inside me it is all the same, we have realized it's the one space. But sitting here is Babaji, sitting there is Shiva Bal Yogi. So that manners we have to always. Then finally, as he went on asking, talking, I had to tell him, you who is the soul, and he is asking the question, you who is the soul is answering the question as Babaji. This is the final theory. But just now you should not think too much and get confused. So you are advised, just go slow and have meditation. Practice when the mind rises to that level. This is for everybody also, not only for you. Rises to that level, then the understanding will come. Otherwise, Advaita can be very confusing very often. As he himself told, there are several Advaita groups. One is critic of the other. One tells what Adi Shankara told he was critic of that and this of the critic. So they are all half-baked beans. They have not realized, blind people. That's why unless you don't experience, that truth will not be able to visualize what it is. In a simple language, finally, one more time I'll tell you. Say ki you are also this space and I am also this space only, nothing. Simply temporarily, there the consciousness has assumed an woman's form, here the consciousness has assumed a Babaji's form, that is all. There is no difference actually, but because the brain's reflections, this difference appears. Like on the screen, it's only a 61 inches TV screen, but 100,000 miles an aeroplane, so goes a jet airplane is going so fast. So it shows such an illusory effect happen. That type of illusory effect has happened, what I was trying to tell. So finally, it is the one single self. It is only a mono acting of everything of this universe. That's what the truth is. Now, time in this world differs. It differs, you see, in this world it differs the time. So once at that level, the concept of time also disappears. But for the world, it was from 1949 to 61 he did the tapas. So our tapas came later afterwards. So it all differs. Same awakening. Awakening is the same because the truth is one, same. It is not two different things. Only when a real awakening happens, then there is no critic is there, it is all the same. In whichever form you did or he did or I did, there is no difference. Once a yogi tells, if you tell that I want to go to that temple, I want to go and take blessing from that saint, it's your choice, it's no problem. For me, there is no insecurity. I don't have to criticize anybody like that. When you are assured the truth is one, so that is no insecurity. The awakening is the same, one truth. Everything appeared as if he woke me up and he spoke to me and I listened to him. That's what I got to see at that time. Yeah. Just to wake me up, guide, and then disappear. Really, I didn't have any such effect. Both are all same. Only when outside, some people tell ki this for a sattvic thing, full moon day is observed, and for not a sattvic people they do. But personally, for me, I never experienced any such differences. All seem to be the same. As when the mind settles into one thing, it is neither here nor there. So both doesn't affect the mind when it's becoming quiet. That's my personal experience. By meditation, by continuously meditating on the word of Rama, 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 so his consciousness, mind became purified. Constantly, like a tapas, he did it. He got absorbed into it and he forgot the world. So that's how he got transformed into a great sage. Self-realized, he became to be known as Valmiki. But whatever karma he had done, he would have undergone the fruits of such karma. It doesn't, you won't be able to not to undergo, you cannot escape that one. But by the time you would have become self-realized, it doesn't matter. Many times yogi's life also, there is struggle, there is trouble, people troubling them, criticizing them, so many things we have to face, positive, negative. So they are all could be the karmas, but in our consciousness nothing occurs actually. It's simply one thing has happened. So that's how he got initiated by sage Narada, that's what the story tells. And he became realized, he went on doing Rama's name. So to his consciousness, it became purified, it became single pointed. To be precise and technically, became single pointed. When it became purified, it started going introvert also. That's how he became realized. What happens mentally, you overcome any such calamities, troubles, anything, you won't suffer anymore. Any suffering doesn't appear to be a suffering to you at all. But all you had done any such thing, it will become simple and natural. So you simply take it graciously and it happens, it's over. So the divine has blessed you to clear the accounts. So that's what happens. By regretting, at least you will not repeat the mistake. You will not become habitual to do that one. Yeah, it doesn't matter for you once you have become purified. Well, that it's okay, no problem. Like that you will go on, but you won't repeat it. Swamiji used to say it was Narada, sage Narada, who initiated Jesus Christ into meditation. He used to say this in Kashmir area when Jesus came to India in search of the truth. So thus he did tapas, Swamiji used to say that one. That was all he used to say. So that is how he became self-realized. But at that time Jesus did not know who it was. He thought some sage initiated him. But then he went on and he told his experiences only. But it was very difficult to make the people of that area understand everything. So he had to behave according to their understanding capabilities only. So that's what Swamiji used to tell. You see the history of Jesus. His disciples spread his name. So by not talking the total truth of meditation, but of miracles. Jesus is more famous for miracles for many people. That's what in the Bible also, the Bible is thinking. But if Jesus asked only to meditate, nobody would have bothered. So that's what happens. Tomorrow, my teachings are there. When I go away physically, if you talk that while sitting, suddenly Babaji used to manifest a pumpkin, then I become famous. Otherwise, no, Babaji used to talk, you all have to meditate, you all have to meditate. People won't be that much interested. So that's how people of this world become curious. Curiosity has to be generated, and then they become think. They start thinking, if you produce a chain, they believe that this is God. Nobody will think you don't need God for a chain, gold chain you can buy in the shop. So that type of thinking, how many wisely thinks? No. People follow blindly very often. So that's how things become famous. It depends. In spite of all this, if anybody had developed or developed a real devotion and worship in the name of Jesus, they will be blessed by the divine. This can also happen. But humanity, very often they don't even practice genuine devotion also. So these things are very complicated to discuss. Yeah, the story comes that two of the people who are doing meditation long, deeper tapas, so when he was going to God, this is just to tell how positive you need to be while doing sadhana. Then things would appear very fast. And 8 hours of sleep might appear as 2 minutes if you are positively sleeping. But if you become negative, that 8 hours might appear as 8 ages. So that's what to tell. So Narada tells, I am going to meet God. Is there anything I can do for you? One person asked, please ask God, how long more that I have to do tapas to get self-realized? So other one also asked the same thing. So then Narada, after some time, came back after meeting God. He told the first person, you are sitting under this tree, the leaves that are in this big tree, banyan tree, as many years as the leaves are there, you will have to do tapas. He jumps very happily, excitedly, because he tells, at least I am happy in this life, it is guaranteed that I am going to have self-realization. For the other person, he tells, you may have to do for another few more years. He gets become depressed. Oh God, for so many years I have been doing, still more years, it's very difficult, not possible. He gives up his tapas at all. So that is the effect of positive thinking, negative thinking. So in 1 hour also, if you practice and if you are more positive, if you start enjoying the quietness, that 1 hour simply passes by and you will sit. Otherwise it will be torturesome every 5 minutes. Oh God, Babaji has prescribed 1 hour. He could have simply told 10 minutes. You see, that you start thinking negatively. And you lose interest to sit for 1 hour. These are all scholarly things. No, I'm not very good at these things. I didn't read many scriptures. We have heard Narada as the Devarshi, means the angelus sage who used to travel in all the worlds. But he is connected to music. He is a great musician. Atmagyani was a self-realized soul, but always devoted to Lord Vishnu. In the name of Narayana, he used to chant Narayana, Narayana, and goes everywhere. And the stories about him tells that he was he was very naughty. He always wanted to see how the divines grace descends on person, want to see the play. So he used to put one against the other, then see how the divine's grace works there to prove the devotion. So that type of things was always there. So Narada is known to be for the putting fire between two people to fight. He is known in that name also. But he was actually genuinely a great devotional person perhaps. Nobody knows whether such a person lived or is it a legendary figure. But we all firmly believe there was Narada. Sage Narada was there. It's very famous in our legendary stories. It comes. When somebody slaps you, take it graciously. It's the divine's work. Or if you can slap back, slap back. So that that person doesn't dare to give you a second slap. In this world, that is also necessary. You have to be strong. And on your own, don't try to slap unnecessarily. You know, this, even in the court of justice, these things work. Whether you are defending yourself, whether you are offensive. So that's how the justice matters. Whether it was a planned thing, deliberately you are habitual to slapping people using your arrogance or your power, if you are strong, if you are wealthy, if you are powerful, all these things, they are all wrong things. If somebody is trying to trouble you, then you defend yourself. That is a clear case of defense. That's what it is. So like that you have to proceed in this world. It's not easy though, but you simply don't become habitual to slap people. But if somebody slaps, you don't allow them to slap you. At least shout at them, don't allow them to come near. If you try to slap me, I will call the police, I will give you back. Threaten them so that they stay themselves away. Otherwise the world will not allow you to live peacefully. Everybody will sit on your head. Karma is afterwards. We are just trying to see what we have to learn in this world. Karma can be washed if you cleanse your mind through spiritual sadhanas. Keep this formula, all of you. If you do meditation, if you are a real devotee, all karmas can be washed away. Unhappiness will be washed away. This is one thing. But when you are living in this world, you must remember you are the tongue living in the midst of 32 wicked teeth. If you try to be noble, they will cut you into pieces. You have to be clever also. This world, apart from being noble, you need to be clever also, careful. That is also important. Noble doesn't mean that you have to be an idiot. This is the formula you all have to understand in this world. Otherwise, they won't leave anybody to live peacefully. We all have to be careful, defend ourselves. No. Silently prepare yourself that nobody troubles you. Be careful, don't get involved unnecessarily. So this is important for everybody. Karma comes afterwards. Karma is different, this is different. Otherwise, one is likely to get confused with the karma theories. Discussing, that is different. You will understand. Two formulas understand. Karma theory. On your own, habitually do not become bad guy. Means do not be habitually rude to others in the name of frankness or straightforwardness. We have seen in the society many people, they claim that I am straightforward, but they are rude to others. If somebody tries to be rude to them, they cannot take it. They will become arrogant. How dare you try to be like this? I have seen practically. So, where the karma comes in this? That person is wrong because he is habitually rude to others all the time. It is wrong. We should try not to hurt others as much as possible. Yet, sometimes we may have to tell politely, but we can say no with a smile. We can explain politely. We can tell kindly, please understand. So in spite of that they don't understand, then we will have to take a mace or a sword. So these things are complicated. Slowly you will have to understand. If you meditate, you will become more matured. You will understand our first duty to protect this woman from getting disrobed. Other dharmas come afterwards. That's what. Many people have failed in these things. If Indians had understood Bhagavad Gita thoroughly, no foreign cultural invasions would not have happened at all. That's what Krishna tried to teach, Chanakya tried to teach. This is important. So this is a complicated thing. Just by listening to me, if you try to put into practice, you might do wrong things. Be careful. You see, simple facts, practical things you all think. This body has come to you now, the Rayan. This will undergo karmas means the body itself is like that. Because it's born means whatever you would have visualized in the previous life, that is going on. So if when things are happening, don't lose heart, don't lose hope. Take it as a challenge. Try to overcome that effects by practicing spiritual sadhanas, which can enhance your mental energy, gives you enormous inner strength. This is the philosophy you have to learn. Instead of simply going into the karma theories, why the karma is coming, why the karma, let it be, it has come, what to do. We went for peace 50 years ago, but we had to see conflicts in the ashram because Swamiji's own devotees were like that and fighting for each other for the property. So I had to get trapped, though I was innocent, I had nothing to do, but two big guns were fighting. They were trying to make me sandwiched in between. But yet it's okay, no problem. If this was the prarabdha of this ashram, let it happen. I don't have to take it too much of worries into this. Now I have to work skillfully that I defend myself, don't get trapped into unnecessarily into this unhappiness. So I planned, let me have an ashram where no interference by other elements will be there, where I can sit peacefully with devotees who are sincere spiritual seekers. To them I can teach peacefully. There is nobody who will ask me to get out from here, no trustees, no such thing, because this is our ashram. We have established a trust. So like this measures I have to take by using some wisdom. Experience teaches you the wisdom. Like this we have to try to overcome such effects of karma. Some karma would have had been there, but sitting depressed was of no use. But instead of that, I planned like that, and we have established, and my devotees who admired, who loved, all of you have helped me. So today we have a place. So I have maintained that also, established peace. Devotees are able to come and sit peacefully. I am talking of practicalities. When such a thing happened, I was helpless. Didn't know what to do. All elders had done mistakes. Because of that, my prarabdha also was involved, though there was no mistake of mine. So maybe previous life there was some prarabdha, we had to be. But instead of carrying on with that prarabdha, I worked out, planned, used some wisdom. So let me plan and defend like this. If necessary, I should be able to come here. If they don't allow me to stay there peacefully, then I should be able to come and stay. Still I can continue my mission. I can remember my Guru Shiva Balayogi here also. He is not only at one place. Such things I could think because of the meditation and plan. That's how you all think and plan to overcome the present situation. So instead of going into too much theoretical of this karma, this could be confusing. Karma, not clearly it won't come to the mind for you. When it has happened, it's over. We cannot go back to my last birth and rectify that one in time. Many times in movies you get to see this thing, time travelers. That is all imaginations. But in this dimension, you cannot go back to the time into your previous life and set right everything and come back to Rayan again. It is not possible. Whatever is done, it is done. The present is the truth. But there is a future that you can try. Tomorrow you can make yourself secure by being more positive, thinking wisely, adopting such methods. That's what I would like to teach in my opinion. What happens when we deal with the situation? For a while it might be unpleasant, but we need to be polite and be firm, so that after we go away from the world, the future generation should not be troubled for any reason. For educational purpose only, I will explain. 50 years ago, I had an adopted sister in Mysore. She loved me and considered me like a god, everything. Okay, I went to ashram for long years. I was not in touch with her. She became an officer in the government. She earned very well. Suddenly she appeared after more than 20-25 years. One day she appeared. She started coming here. She was very happy with the ashram. This is a luxury. This is such a beautiful thing. And slowly she expressed that she was trying to find a piece of land somewhere around. She could not find anywhere. She wanted to settle in the ashram. She said, I want to build a small cottage here and stay here. I said, look, after a long time we are meeting each other. I don't know what type of life you spent. Being a government officer, you would have had 20 subordinates under you. Now you are retired. When you settle down here, the situation could be different. And now, if at all you want to build a small cottage and you have to stay, I would like to make certain conditions. We need to work out a document that the construction should be from the trust side, so that no single person claims that as his or her property. And I can guarantee as the chairman, as long as you are alive, you will stay there and nobody will disturb you. You will be allowed to stay. Everybody has to respect. Even if I go away from the world, you are going to be alive. Anybody who comes as my successor, as a trustee, they have to respect this fact, that we can work out a document. In the same way, after you also, when you pass away from this world, no friend or relative of yours must come and claim this as my property, because my relative was staying here, I am the successor, I have the right to stay here and we have the right to own. That must not happen. This is what happened in my Guru's ashram, because these documents were not worked out by those elders. And now we had to suffer because of that one. All those elders have gone. They are not here anymore. But we are alive. As long as I am alive, I have to face. I am the infantry there. I cannot escape. Whatever troubles happen, now everybody is ready to grasp that property. They are waiting when Babaji dies and this will be mine, this will be mine. There is such a situation is there. Like Doris said once, remember, lions are hovering around Babaji, just waiting for the opportunity. So all the time we have to live carefully, prepare such things. So this is the karma education we have to understand. So if I work out today, finally what happened? She refused to accept that condition. She accused me and left the ashram and went away. She was trying to tell others also. Babaji has become very greedy. He did not agree that after me that my family people can come, somebody can come. You also don't go to ashram. Okay, it's up to you. You accuse me, you go. At least I have worked out a peace. Tomorrow when I go away from this world, the next generation will not be troubled. The entire thing belongs to the trust. It is for the public utility. Anybody can come and stay. Nobody can claim this as my property. Not even my relatives, not me or anybody. But anybody can come and stay as a devotee. So this is what we have to work out using wisdom. We have to learn from the mistakes of the elderly people. That's what Mahabharata teaches, Ramayana teaches. If we look from the angle of ordinary human being, forget about divine incarnations, this story is that story, that is said, this is said. People have been very clever to defend the wrongdoings. They have told lot of stories. But that really doesn't work if you scientifically, practically try to see a mistake was a mistake. Because of that, a war happened. So for us to avoid any such war and conflicting thing, we must not commit such mistakes. We have to be very careful in future. That's what we have to learn with the Ramayana or Mahabharata also. Mahabharata, if all the elders, Bhishma, Dronacharya, did not keep quiet when Draupadi was about to be disrobed, then the war wouldn't have happened. Bhishma would have protected the Kuru clan, Dhritarashtra clan, Pandava clan, everybody would have been protected. Nobody did have had to die at all. But when war happens, you all have read, when two people fight, you have to dig two graves. So this is what the karmas, the worldly things that happen. We have to learn and be careful. As she is telling, everywhere there is conflict. Documentation was not worked out. Things were taken granted, verbally trusted. That person to whom Swamiji gave in Dehradun, he was a dear disciple of Swamiji. But after Swamiji passing away, he became selfish. He looked after his own comfort, never bothered the larger cons of the Swamiji's institute that other public has to come. He belonged to military. He allowed only military people to come. He didn't like the civilians. He had that type of attitude. What to do? He couldn't change himself after 40 years of meditation. This is the education we have to learn. I'm not accusing that person, not against. For education only this topic came up, karma theories came up. There's so much to learn in this world is there. So for all this, finally, meditate, purify your mind, you will become wise. You will be able to understand what is right, what is wrong, what is the priority, what is the karma, now what has to happen next. Sitting, holding the hand, what has happened has no meaning. Now we have to use our wisdom, what has to happen next. That is all in our hand. That's what Krishna teaches. Karmanya vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You have a right to put in effort. You don't have a right for the results. Yesterday whatever happened, it's done. Let go the past. Don't keep worrying, don't feel guilty. Many people are disturbed in the world. They come to me when we travel foreign countries, India, and the emails that every day I receive. This is one of the main topics. Either their childhood is troubled, or in their youth they were troubled, somebody worked injustice to them. It has happened to all of us, but I cannot afford to sit feeling sorry for myself. I have so much to work, to teach people, to educate people, to create. I have to see tomorrow. That's what I am trying to do. So that's what we all have to learn. If you meditate, purify your mind, you will be wise. Automatically you will do. That's why I advise Ryan, get up, buy the ticket and come here, you will be all right. He was hesitating. Don't know how I will be, how I can do that one, whether I will be all right or not. First time he was coming to India, he was hesitating what will happen. First time when we came to America also, we didn't know anybody. We didn't know Clifford or we didn't know anyone. Okay, but two uneducated kids, that's what the embassy told, right? In the passport.
Charlie said that two uneducated kids are coming to America because we didn't know anything.
How the America is going to be, how the immigration will work, how the passports will work, how security will work, we didn't know. But as we went, slowly we learned. We learned how to things like that. You all come. The Samudram is very approachable, easy. Everything is beautiful. We will help in every way. Then once you practice meditation, don't worry. Then you will be wise in the world also, in the karma theories also. You will be purified. Let go the past. Look for the future. Still there is time before death happens to you that you can clear your mind and realize the self is possible. Think positively.